Welcome back to the Chiro Money Show, where we're helping chiropractors make better financial decisions so they can build stability in their finances and a lifestyle that they love. We're your hosts, Chris Shield and Scott Campbell, financial planners with Align Wealth.
How are we doing today, Chris? Yeah.
Doing good. Hard to complain. Sun is out. We got together for a nice big run this morning.
Got out for a nice run this morning. It was hot. Yeah. Chris and I are participating in a sweat test this evening to find out how much we sweat and salt during our activities. So we had to go for a run this morning to make sure that our sweat glands were working properly for this upcoming sweat test, right?
Yeah. Still working. Yep.
We're functioning.
Yeah. Yep.
We were glistening. Mm-hmm. What else is new, Chris? Where are we at?
Yeah. Otherwise, looking forward to summer. We just wrapped up 5 weeks spring meetings with all our clients. So that was fun, busy time, but looking forward to summer now.
It's always a bit of a marathon to get through a lot of meetings in a short window, but we like it that way. We do it intentionally, but it's a lot. It's a lot for a short period, but then it's like, all right, clients are going to enjoy their summer. We're going to enjoy our summer. Lots of camping activities planned. Should be good.
Yeah. We chose the structure, surge meetings.
That's right.
So sometimes we got to remind ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about today, Scott?
Today, I give kudos and all the credit for the topic today from good friend of the show, client of ours, Dr. Claire out in Spruce Grove, Rise Chiropractic. She had such a great post on her Instagram yesterday. She just was preaching, and I'm like, you preach. Basically, her message was she just got started with a personal trainer. So I think she's seen this personal trainer maybe 3 or 4 times, and she's really loving that she is committed to a personal trainer. She's found someone that's going to benefit her and show up, and she's committing to herself and her health and getting stronger and seeing what she's capable of, which is all awesome. But she was just relating it back to how it ties so closely to chiropractic care. Like if you only go to see the chiropractor 3 or 4 times and say, hey, this is not for me, like this isn't doing what I thought it would do in a short period of time, you're not giving it a fair chance to see what the ongoing benefit, the compounding impact of chiropractic care can do for you long-term, just like how the compounding impact and benefits of seeing a personal trainer on a regular basis long-term can have such a profound effect on your life and your health, right?
It's something that, can touch all parts of our life, like can be physical fitness. It could be other things as well. But yeah, I totally hear it and feel it personally. Like back when we first met, like 4 years ago, I was hardly a runner, Scott, and you took me on a run, and I was like, holy. And 4 years later, I finally feel like a runner, and it's all just based on consistency, showing up, getting time on the feet.
And now I'm having a hard time keeping up to you.
That's right. That's how it should be.
Look at that. Yeah. Trained you too well.
Yeah, that's right.
The compounding effect of your running is working too well for you.
Yep. So what does this all mean for financial planning?
Well, I think when it comes down to Dr. Claire's point, if you find the right expert and the right guide that can communicate, first of all, like what everyone has a preconceived idea. If we go back to chiropractic care for a moment, some people have a preconceived idea of what chiropractic is and what that looks like, what treatment should look like, how fast it should work for someone. People have preconceived ideas of what chiropractic care is before you get into a room with someone like Dr. Claire, who can explain what chiropractic care is and what this journey is going to look like if you fully commit to it. Just like how people would have a preconceived idea if they've never experienced working with a real financial planner, like we put that in quotes, real financial planners doing ongoing, regular meetings, like diving into all the different areas of the financial life. Everyone's going to have a preconceived idea of what a financial advisor / planner is. So if you first and foremost are open to the idea of understanding that there's different forms of financial advice and planning, just like there's different forms of chiropractic care and different forms of personal trainers out there, if you can first get to that point of understanding that there's different ways people do things, and then committing to a process. What we want to kind of dive in and talk about today is what does the compounding effect of ongoing financial advice and planning, what can that do for you? What's there's one thing about one-time advice, right? But the compounding, when we do this over year over year over year, what are the benefits to the client long-term? And we want to talk about some of those key points today.
Just like, we know and believe in chiropractic care, it's not a reactionary thing where it's like, oh, my back went out, I need to go to the chiropractor and get it fixed, and then I'm good until it goes out again. We're not here for you when you have a tax bill that was a surprise, and then you don't have to talk to us again. That's not how we look at financial planning at all.
Or even a once a year call it an adjustment. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to see a financial advisor for a 1 hour appointment per year and have the expectation that everything in your financial life is going to come together and work out beautifully with a
Yeah.
one time a year conversation.
Well, we're on track. Why not, Scott?
Right. It's
Maybe if
committing to a
everything's humming
process.
along. But yeah, no, I agree with your point completely. And that's quite common in the financial industry, like where, traditional advisors that are mostly focused on just investment management are going to call their clients once a year, review the portfolio, and carry on with life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if anyone's listening to the show, you've heard us preach and share, you know, our beliefs and opinion on real financial planning. You probably have a pretty good idea that we go into a lot of detail and depth with our clients and all different areas of their business and personal finances. It's not just investment management. It's not just insurance. Those are products that come into play if there's a planning need for them.
That's right.
Okay? So now that we've established we're talking real financial planning, brackets, real financial planning,
Yep.
What is the compounding effect of real planning, Scott?
So I want to touch on a few different areas because I think the compounding effect of good advice and planning over call it decades is going to show up in a few different areas of your life. First area I think is the actual quantifiable aspect of your financial life. How much further ahead will you be essentially financially in terms of net worth, how much you've saved and invested, how much you've accumulated? There's that aspect of it. That's something that we can actually measure. And we usually often look at that in the form of reviewing your balance sheet or net worth statement, at least on an annual basis, kind of seeing the progress that you're making from that aspect.
I mean, we can see it on with our clients, right? We can see how their net worth is growing, how their cash flow is evolving. We can see all those moving parts, but more broadly speaking, there are actually some pretty good surveys that happen every year where households are surveyed across Canada, and we're basically looking at those that are working with an advisor and those that are not. Now, to go back to your earlier point, when we're talking about it, we mean real financial planning. This survey, it's not quite that detailed. It doesn't differentiate between like traditional or maybe like bank advisor that is not really doing the level of planning that we are doing. So I would say this is probably even not reflective of the true value of working with a real financial planner.
But it starts to paint the picture of what potentially the compounding effects are of having someone in your corner help you make at least some better and more like smarter financial decisions as you move through your career.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So what is this study, Scott?
Yeah. So we're going to incorporate some visuals here. So if you're on YouTube, have a bit of a slide deck that will touch on a few of these key stats that I think were interesting and worthwhile to bring up in the conversation. This first one was put together by a group called Serrano, which is a independent Canadian research institute out of Quebec. This is peer reviewed, so this is not like an industry based. We have to think about conflicts of interest here in terms of who's producing this study. But this study from Serrano said that essentially looking at assets that you've grown over time from a perspective of whether or not you're working with an advisor or not. And essentially what this study is showing that over a 4 to 6 year period of time, someone who's working with an advisor is accumulating about 1.6 times more assets over that short window of 4 to 6 years. And then you move out further, 7 to 14 years, almost 2 times more assets that they've grown over that period of time. And then if you stretch out to 15 plus years, this is a pretty interesting stat. 2.73 times more assets that have been accumulated over that period of time than a household that doesn't have any advice associated with it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Chris? Is that surprising to you?
Honestly, no, it's not really surprising to me. Those that are getting advice have accountability, have a person in their corner that knows their life and is supporting them on an ongoing journey. Absolutely. I 100% believe that's going to add value.
In this same study by Serrano, over doesn't specifically say the time period, but on average, households that are working with an advisor on average are saving about 10.75% of their household earnings comparative to households that are not working an advisor where their average is closer to 6.7%. So that's
Mhm.
obviously the compounding effect of that. If you're working with an advisor and you're on average saving 4 to 5% more of your earnings into long-term investment accounts and whatnot, that's obviously going to play a big role into why over 4 to 6 or 15 plus period of time or more that you've accumulated that much more wealth.
And this last stat, pretty powerful too. Across advised households, there versus a non-advised household, they have on average about 3 times the net worth and 4 times the investable assets
Yeah.
across all ages and income ranges.
Yeah.
So just kind of average of all investors in the study.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's the next area that I think the compounding effect of ongoing planning, I think is this is what I think is most important, in my opinion. Like, I think it's great to build wealth and be on track to reach your goals. And that's all great. But to like going back to Dr. Claire's point, if you commit to chiropractic care, you're not just going and showing up for an adjustment because you have an acute pain at that. Usually, like I get, obviously we want to solve the pain, but at some points, like we want to help you support your nervous system and help you function your best and like live a great life. That's the goal from our perspective as a non-chiropractor. But money and the stress of money can impact people, right? Like it plays a big impact in terms of our health and our stress. We've seen that a lot, Chris, right? Over the
Yeah.
years,
Oh, for sure.
right?
It's, yeah. I mean, I think we have to just directly acknowledge that, like, our job as financial planners is not just helping our clients accumulate wealth and
Yeah,
have more assets. Like, if this was just about money, and you know, our jobs would be pretty easy.
for sure.
But it's about so much more than that. It's about all the things that that money is going to do for you.
Yep.
And there's so much emotion connected to our money, and that is why it can have such an impact on us as individuals, as human beings.
Yep.
Our
For sure.
money can impact us. And the number one way that it shows up is usually in our health. And yeah, really it comes down to stress. Like, the next point of, yeah, money is the number one stressor in Canadian households.
We have a couple key stats here that were produced by Financial Planning Canada. This was a study done back in 2024. It's their stress index study that they do every year. 44% of Canadians in 2024 indicated that money is their top stressor.
Yeah. And that
No
was the
surprise
top
there.
rated, that was the top rated stressor.
That's right.
So money was money was more stressful than relationships, family, whatever, work.
Yeah,
Money was more stressful than everything else.
for sure.
Yeah. And that resulted in about half of the people studied losing sleep over money.
Yeah,
And we all know how important sleep is and how much sleep can impact the quality of our day, of our life in so many different ways.
yeah. And last one here, 38% in the same study by FP Canada report anxiety or depression tied
Mhm.
directly to their financial stress.
Yeah.
We don't love to see these numbers.
No.
What the impact that I think we're looking to make and what we believe can be the outcome again of real financial planning is that this is eliminated. That
Yeah.
you have a plan, you have the systems and structures, you have someone in your corner who understands you and helping you make good decisions. I think it's hard to say, like we'd be naive to say that we're eliminating complete financial stress from our clients' lives. But if we can drastically reduce that,
Yeah.
man, like what an impact that can have on your health and your
Mhm.
stress
Mhm.
and having maybe a better relationship with money, a better relationship with your spouse in combination with money, that can go a long way over your
Yeah,
lifetime.
huge.
Right.
Yeah, even like some incremental improvements across these things can have such meaningful impacts.
Yeah.
And it's just like a personal trainer, just like starting to run. You're not going to go out and run a marathon on your first day and all of
Yeah.
a sudden be a marathon runner. Like you're going to run a kilometer or two, or you're maybe going to walk,
Yeah.
and you're going to incrementally improve as time goes. Same thing. I would say that the the length of time that clients work with an advisor, these things are reduced every year that relationship continues, assuming that relationship continues to be positive and rewarding
Yep.
for the client.
Let's move on to our last kind of key area that we strongly feel that the compounding impact of ongoing advice and planning can make a big impact in someone's life. And that's just the peace of mind that comes with it. If we're less stressed about money, we're feeling confident about the plan that we have in place. What does that lead to, Chris?
Yeah, I think we're less likely to call money our top stressor if we're feeling better about it. We have some peace of mind,
Yep.
reduce stress around it. It's likely that we've removed that from the top of the list of that what's causing stress in our life.
Yep.
So FP Canada again, in their stress index said that there's a 34% reduction from 48% down to 34% for those that are working with an advisor.
Yeah. Big drop for sure.
Yeah, huge drop.
Same
And
thing on
then
losing sleep.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Same thing on that side, going from 53% down to 42%. So
Yeah.
less likely to lose sleep over money by 11% less likely
Yeah.
when working with a planner.
This last stat that we'll throw out on the podcast today, I know we've hit on a lot, but this one I think is the most powerful when it comes to kind of the peace of mind that it comes with working with a great financial planner, having a plan. This study was done by KPMG, their professional services firm. 80% feel more confident that they can retire on time when they have a plan that's been prepared. They have that confidence that they are on track, they have a plan, they have a strategy, versus 36% of the people who are not working with a financial planner say that they have no confidence that they're on track to retire on time and reach their long-term financial goals.
Mm.
And that's just big picture, right? That's, we obviously work with a lot of clients in their 30s and 40s, and retirement or financial independence is a ways down, right?
Mm.
They still want to know that they're on track at some point to make work optional. But what's not added in here is like also the confidence that they're going to be able to reach their short-term goals, and most importantly, live the best life that they can today while setting themselves up for eventual financial independence and making work ideally optional for them.
Sure. There's so many steps and other things that we could add in between now and financial independence or retirement. I think I wish we had, like, one day we'll have our own stats, Scott. Like one day we'll get there, but don't have those yet. But just like from our experience, the stress that we've seen eliminated from solving the tax trap that so many chiropractors are in, where they're pulling dividends from their corp, not remitting taxes, or their tax installments on the personal side aren't sufficient, and they don't have a clear plan as to like how much tax they're going to owe come their year end, and they don't know how much they've set aside to pay that. That is the by far, just anecdotally, the biggest stressor that I've noticed working with chiropractors.
Mm-hmm.
And when we've solved that problem for the clients that have decided to work with us, and we always solve it, it's not a problem we let linger.
Yeah.
It's not. There's a clear solution here. That does not have to be you if you're listening and you're in that situation right now. We can change that. The stress that's removed from their life is like tangible. Like you can see it. You can see it in the client when we remove that. And sometimes it takes a while. Like I'm thinking of a client where we had to go through a full year of like personal and corporate tax filings for them to actually believe that this was changed, and to have like the peace of mind. And now the peace of mind is growing and it's compounding. And then next year they're going to go through their tax filings again. They're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, the plan still worked. I don't have any surprises.
Yep. I've been
That's
saving
just
and
going to grow.
investing way more than I was. We're still
Yeah.
living a great life day to day and month to month. We're doing the vacations that we want to vacation, and the kids are doing what they want to do. And we have all the right insurance and risk stuff taken care of. We have the right estate plan in place, like all the peace of mind that comes with all those things. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, it's so huge. But I agree with you, Chris. The tax side, man, there's a lot of there's a lot of stress rolled up into taxes when you are an incorporated chiropractor, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Undue stress.
Well, those are kind of the 3 points that we wanted to touch on in terms of like, yeah, just some supporting statistics on what we see and we agree with in terms of the long term compounding effect of good advice and a good, not even just advice, having a relationship with another human being, an expert who can be your guide. At the end of the day, it's a journey, right? Like I love the analogy that Carl Richards uses. If we're making a flight from Vancouver way out to the East Coast to Nova Scotia, for example, a great pilot is going to have a flight plan, even though they've maybe made that flight hundreds and hundreds of times across Canada. But they're always making minor adjustments because every single time they go across Canada, there's different turbulence, things come up. They need to make course corrections. They need to make adjustments. That's what a good guide can do for someone. Let's take you on this journey. It's not going to look the same for everyone. We're going to make some course adjustments along the way, but we're going to continuously check in, see what conditions are. New information means new adjustments, and we'll continue down that process.
All right. I'm going to hit our listeners with our 4 key takeaways here. So first, consistency compounds. Just like in investing, the wins show up over the long term, over years, not just in the first few visits. It's the same with chiropractic or going to the gym. It takes time. Consistency is what matters. Second, it's behavior. There's no special tricks. There's no magic in investing or what we do as financial planners. There's no magic. The real value is just consistency and staying steady, staying invested through all the noise, through all the ups and downs, and having a guide that keeps you on track. Third, your money affects your health or can significantly affect your health. Financial stress is the number one stressor for Canadians, and it costs you sleep. Getting it under control is getting more confident with your money is almost like taking control of your health. It's a health move. And lastly, a plan buys peace of mind. The payoff isn't only a bigger balance sheet. It isn't only like accumulating more money and having more resources, but it's also lower stress and more confidence about the future.
I love all those points. Thanks again to Dr. Claire for preaching to the choir. I know she was preaching. Here's the translation from going to the gym on a regular basis and seeing a personal trainer and how that translates to ongoing chiropractic care, which we're both under. We believe in that too, but it was too closely tied to like, what's the compounding effect of like keep showing up, keep coming to these meetings for our clients that are seeing us on a regular basis. What's the compounding effect of that? So been a fun conversation.
Yep. Thanks, Scott.
Cool. All right, we'll leave it there. We'll see you all next week. Thanks again. All opinions expressed on the Chiro Money Show are for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Nothing on this podcast should be considered financial, legal, accounting, or tax advice. Always consult your own team of licensed professionals before making decisions about your finances.